I'm just cutting a new ground sheet for what I consider my favourite tent. It's a little one-man tent, and it's brilliant. It's I got it second hand, but the zip was broken at the front, and I thought I'd take a chance, get a new zip put in it. So I got it quite cheap, and when I first got it, I'd look at the zip and I thought, well, yeah, it's broken. But then I had another look and got a pair of pliers and just nipped it back together again, and that's all it needed. It had come apart, or it hadn't been put together properly when it was manufactured, and yeah, it worked perfectly. And I've had this tent for quite a few years. It's been right around Britain a couple of times, and some amazing little adventures. And I thought it's about time I dug it out again, because lugging a big tent around, though it's nice to have all the space and that, but you're only sleeping in the damn thing after all. So I thought, well, it's a really lightweight tent, so I thought, well, let's cut a new sheet for it and start using this one this year. Yep, it's so well made. That's the only metal poles you get in the whole thing, and it's such a lightweight little tent. It's amazing. I just found some tickets on it from the last time I used it, was 2011. Blimey, that's quite a while ago. But yeah, that's the first metal end put up, and it's sort of self-standing. They just plug in, just lock in. So there's 3 little locks that side, and it stands up on its own basically. So that's only 9 tent pegs to hold the whole thing up, like it's self-supporting. You tie the back on underneath, the little metal, and the same with that one to keep it in place. And it looks like it's going to rain, which is a pain. I didn't want that. Just peg it down at the front, and that's the entrance. A little toggle to hold the door open. Basically, it's funny how you lose the neck. I used to be able to put this tent up in a few minutes, you know what I mean? If it was raining, and just you know, by the time you were set tenting up, I used to be able to get in here and do it in about 2 seconds flat. I got out the neck, but it's a good idea to put them back on again. Put them up before you go, just to check them all out, I suppose. All you do is give these a little twist. You've got one either side just to keep it up to the metal, and you've got one at the top here that you tie on. That keeps it all nice and snug to the metal bar. Like I say, it's self-standing. Lovely little tent. Yes, great little tent for rough camping as well, because being green and being so small, you can stick it in anywhere and hide it. I've had it in some great places on the sides of fields and out in the countryside. Lovely, superb. Nobody can spot you a mile off. So what you do is clip these over the bars. Oh, and it's raining. What a pain. But there you go. Let it dry out, I suppose. See, look, there's 2 little lugs there that hold it up against the bar. And then the same thing on the front. There's like little hooks that just clip onto the metal frame. Like that, all the way down. Then what I do, once that's up, is, because it gets a bit tight, is loosen off the pegs all round and then tighten up the sheet so it doesn't touch the sides, because otherwise then you get a little bit of leakage, then it touches the sides. So that's the next bit. And that basically is it. I can say, once you get this one, you get used to it, you can put it up in 5 minutes flat. They don't make it anymore. I was having a look on different tent sites, or this particular manufacturer, and they don't actually make this one anymore, which is a shame, because it's got a nice little cooking area there. You can get a little tent there, sorry, a little cooking stove there in the morning or late at night, make yourself a brew. I've got it a little bit too tight along the brace. This one here wants taken out a bit, but it's well ventilated. There's vents all over the place. There's 2 at the bottom, and then you've got 1 at the top and 1 in the front. It's extremely well ventilated. There's a vent here, as you can see, and you've got the fly sheet that comes down the front. and for a minute there I thought that was split it, but it wasn't. Thank God. And yeah, there you go, nice cup of tea. But you can actually sit up at this end. So, like I say, it's like a coffin shape, and you'd be surprised what you can stow away in here. That's why I've made a little ground sheet here so you can put your shoes underneath and bits and pieces of milk and stuff. And it's quite dry when you pull that down, and you put other bits and pieces up the top here that you don't want to get wet, like your clothes and stuff like that. It's got a nice little pocket here. Instructions: don't smoke, otherwise you'll die. Oh, there is a little tear in there. We'll have to get a little bit of yeah, let's just sew that up. Well, it's not bad though. It's like I say, last time I used it was 2011, and yeah, it's a few years old, this one. Lovely little tent though, sweet. So that's my favourite tent, all ready to go. Fantastic, good. Looking forward to a bit of camping this year. Well, that's basically it. The tent poles and the pegs are in the green bag, and the ground sheet, blue, is in the plastic bag, and the fly sheet I always like to keep separate in another bag, because like I say, if it rains and it gets wet, you can always pack away the tent underneath, put that in there dry, and then put the ground sheet, which is maybe damp, in another bag, so it doesn't get the internal of the tent damp. So at least you can start off the next camping, striking camp, or putting up camp I should say, in a pretty good condition. And then if you get a dry night, the outside fly sheet will dry, but it's not nice to keep them separate. I've also got a micro sleeping bag that I've actually never used. Again, extremely lightweight, but I don't know if it's long enough for me. I'm just going to unpack it and see. Well, just tried the sleeping bag. It's long enough, but it's very tight. And you're going to laugh at this, I have to be really careful about tight sleeping bags, because I get nightmares. I wake up and I feel like I'm being crushed or strangled or something like that, and I wake up in a panic. It's claustrophobic. I think that's the word, I think. But no, yeah, I have to really be careful of tight sleeping bags, but I suppose on a hot night or whatever that would be open. But I was just thinking about this tent. The last time I used it, like I said, it was 2011, and that was when I was riding two-wheelers, and I had a lovely, two in fact, Sherpas, Thorn Sherpas, really nice little 26-inch wheel touring bikes. I used to use one as a road bike, and the other one was different geared for a tourer, red one. And I set off fully loaded with that tent and a few other things to Norfolk, and then from Norfolk followed the trail up to Sustrans route up the spine of England, which is an extremely lovely route. A couple of places where the posts disappeared, the signposts, but lucky enough I found them, and I got myself to Hull. But it was a really dreary long run. It was always threatening rain, and the sun only came out a few times. Got very lonely, in fact. And once I got to Hull, found a really nice campsite at the foot of the bridge, and stayed there for 2 days, pondering what to do, because, like I said, I was getting lonely, and I thought, well, I'm not enjoying myself. So I was going to head up further up north to Whitby. I've always wanted to go to Whitby. Don't know why. I think it might be because my mother was stationed there during the war as she was a Wren, and she was stationed there. So I wanted to go and see where it was, but I never quite made it, and I've never made it yet. And I still got this hankering to go to Whitby, one way or another. I'll get to Whitby before I die, and then but I gave up after a while, and I thought to myself, no, I'm getting lonely, I'm not enjoying this, why am I doing it? So I did a left turn and rode down to York and had a good look around York, and then called it a day and got a train back to London and went back home. It was a bit disappointing, but you know, it was a good ride, and that was 2011, and that was the last time I actually used that tent. So that's interesting, to me anyway. Tell you another funny story to me about sleeping bags. The sleeping bag I use, I bought when I was going to Africa with a TV programme called Extreme Dreams, and it was with Ben Fogle, just to drop names. And I got this really nice sleeping bag, and I'm very prissy when things like that, they have to be rolled up and put in the bag properly, you know, things like that. Anyway, when we were in this campsite up in the jungle, and I was fart-arsing around with this sleeping bag, rolling it up neatly and trying to get it in the bag, and Ben Fogle came along, grabbed it out of my hands, he said, no, that's not how you do it, and started to just shove it into the bag, and it works. You don't have to roll them up. I don't know why the hell I was doing it. You just squeeze them into the bag, just keep rolling it into the bag, and it fits lovely. It takes 2 seconds instead of half an hour trying to roll it up and get it in like a sausage. Lesson learned, thanks Ben Fogle. So the main aim is really to get it all in the back of the Velo. I think that will go down one side, that'd be nice. In the back, it's very lightweight. And then down the other side I can get a little stove and some tea making equipment, and a mattress, which I'm still waiting for in the post. It's supposed to have been delivered today, that's why I'm not riding. Well, seeing I'm on a roll, I thought I might as well get the trailer sorted out. The trailer itself's okay, I just can't remember the essential toilet roll. There's the gas, and a really nice little gas stove. Yeah, it's a nice little stove. It all unfolds and goes in this little box. It's quite amazing really, it's really lightweight, and no, it's nice. Just the gas bottles are bigger than and heavier than the actual gas stove itself. It's got a nice little on-off switch, which is good. Yeah, nice. Also got a nice little aluminium wind guard that goes around it. Again, really lightweight, made out of really thin aluminium, which stops the wind blowing the light out. Isn't that clever? All packs away in a little red box. Really nice and lightweight. And we have various little Tupperware packs and spoons, plastic spoons and things like that, and 2 aluminium cooking pots and another little Tupperware pot. I put tea and coffee and milk and stuff like that in. Really lightweight again, in nice little packs. Yeah, the Burley trailer's got some nice little touches. It's got a centre thing that you can move about, so you can segregate the 2 halves away from tents and sleeping bags and utensils, so you can get it all snug. And it's got lots of little side pockets, which are really handy for putting things in like suntan oil and stuff like that, which can go away in there, which I forgot all about. And yeah, that's that off basically. Another essential for me anyway, and it's a micro towel. They're made out of a special fibre, and they really are absorbent, and they dry really fast. And it's quite a large little towel. You can pack them up, and it's quite lightweight, but it's really nice. And that's the 2-man tent I took on the last one around Norfolk with Barry. A bit heavy. I mean, that heavy in itself, and the fly sheet and everything is down there, and the ground sheet. So like I say, I want to substitute that one for the smaller tent this time to really bring the weight down. And the other essential piece of equipment is the fold away chair, which you can fold up and sit down on the damp grass without getting your bum wet when you're camping, which is absolutely ideal. And you can lean back in it as well, so you can really relax outside your tent or inside your tent, whatever you feel like. The one thing I like to do with this burly trailer is, because it's all fabric and aluminium, which makes it so light, I had to put some cardboard in the bottom, because it can get a little bit damp. I wouldn't say it leaks, but if water does get through, it's nice to have the cardboard there just to strengthen the bottom of the trailer as well. Otherwise it tends to sag a little bit if you've packed a lot in there, even though it's light. So basically that's that sorted. I might take that rack off the back of the burley actually, because I don't intend to carry anything on it really. It's just extra weight. Like I say, the trailer, I want to keep it as light as possible because it's best to keep as much weight on the Trike as possible. And I've got side bags on the Trike to put my clothes in. This is just the camping stuff inside here: food, gas stove, tent, sleeping bag, and then the rest of it can go into the Trike side bags, which would be the daily clothes. So that is an improvement on what I was carrying. It's a lot lighter, just have the smaller tent, and that's all I've got to do now is see what this new mattress is like. I've got a new mattress coming. It's one of the pump up ones, small ones, because I can't lay on my side on a hard ground because I'm getting too old for it. But we'll see. Finally got my pump up mattress and my little pillow, a tiny little thing. I've just pumped them up, absolutely perfect. Yeah, rather expensive, but they don't actually weigh anything. Well, they do, but I mean, they're a lot lighter than the other mattress I got. It used to weigh a ton, and yeah, no, really well designed. So I can't wait to try them out now.